All right. Well, let's just start
Yeah,
with
the big news.
let's start with a formal introduction. Hi, hi everyone. Hi, listeners. Tired podcast listeners. Thank you for joining us. We're back, um, for a minute at least. Um, you're listening to Tired, the car podcast where people understand that cars are bad. And yeah, Rory, Maddie, Peter, we're all here. And it's that time of year. Uh, First week in August, second week of August, where people gather
Go crazy.
in. Well, there's a
Stab
couple.
each
There's
other.
there's two big events that happen.
Oh.
Yeah, there's two big competing events that happen right now, um, and the one that Rory is going to. Well, maybe you can tell us about
Yeah,
it,
I'm
Rory.
going to the what is known now as Monterey Car Week. I think it used to be kind of colloquially called Pebble Beach. It's the week leading up to the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, a very fancy car show. I think the tickets are like 250, $300 now. And there are even fancier car shows all week leading up to it. There's some track time at Laguna Seca. They bring out a bunch of old cars and run them around Laguna Seca, which reminds me I need to get a credential for that. But it's cool. I mean, it's honestly like it is a once in a, like if you are into cars, like old cars or new cars, if you're into cars, it is a thing to go see, I think. I probably have gone, I think my first one was like 2006, and I think I probably missed four or five since then. But it's a good thing for me to go just see people who I don't typically get to see. And it's kind of like taking the place of auto shows in that respect. It's just like the whole car business is all in the same place for a week, which is generally fun. I think it can be a very boozy party filled weekend. I'm kind of hoping that it will not be a boozy party weekend for me. I'm sure it won't actually, but it's yeah, it's cool. It's like it's a place where it's like if you see a Porsche 356 Speedster on the street, you're like, oh, that's a real Speedster. Whereas normally, if you see a Speedster or like a Shelby Cobra, you're like, that's fake. Or if you see a
You assume it's a
yeah, if you
Volkswagen.
see a 250
Yeah.
GTO, you're like, oh, that's fake. But if you see one in Monterey, they're real. So it'll be, the biggest auction weekend of the year by far. It'll be, hundreds of millions of dollars of cars being sold. Some of the absolute perviest of the rich guy perverts will be there doing insane rich guy pervert stuff. Um,
I mean, it has been our joke for many
yeah.
years now that, that I mean, I think I think the first time that you were out there, kind of post Epstein,
Yeah.
Rory, and this would have been like immediately in the wake of 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 his mysterious demise. Um, uh, I think I asked, like, so how many people how many people on the lawn at Pebble Beach do you suppose are in the flight
Yeah.
logs? Um, and
Probably 50, 60% of them, I would guess. It's a
and then at some point the obvious joke suggested itself, which is that it's pedo
pedo
beach
beach. Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
pebble beach,
Yeah.
which I've never been able to
Get out of your head once it's in there.
think. Yes.
They're gonna. It's yeah. I think like it is one of those things to me. There's a lot of this stuff in car world for me where it's like contradictions of like being like, man, is it good that this is all here? Not really, but am I enjoying it? Kind of. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, these 25, $30 million cars running around and being sold and stuff. And it's like, Larry Ellison's personal McLaren F1 is being sold by my former employer, which will be interesting. I mean, that could be a 25 plus $1 million car. And there's a lot of that kind of like icky feeling. I was talking to Norman Mayerson about it the other day, and he's like, "You're just going to hang out at the track, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably." Like, that's kind of like my MO, because it's like those guys are obscenely wealthy too, but like the cars are running, there's like grease around, it smells weird. It's, you know what I mean? It smells like racier, like it smells.
They're at least playing with their toys.
Exactly.
They're not just fucking showing them off on a fucking golf course.
Exactly. And I think that,
different mindset.
yeah, that's a little bit more appealing. I think, I do, this is going to be kind of surprising to people, but I do tend to like get up. So Pebble Beach, one of the things is you have to, a concours is a car show that takes place on a golf course, typically. Why this is the case?
Is that the actual definition?
No, but that's pretty much what it is at this point.
I know that's totally perfect though. that's exactly how you'd explain it to like somebody who had no concept.
Yeah, you can pretty much imagine everything you need to know. But I think so. The Concours initially, like back in pre-war Paris, you used to commission body work for you'd buy a chassis from a high-end automaker, and then you'd commission a coach builder to build custom body work for you. So they would hold these concours d'elegance where you'd bring out your car, and then you'd have all your fancy clothing, and then they'd award prizes for who had the most elegant or whatever car. That idea,
it's almost like it's like an automotive fashion show.
Exactly, yeah. So that idea kind of went away during the war, as you can imagine, and then it kind of came back, and I think it was, I want to say it was Briggs Cunningham, one of those guys, but there was a race in Monterey, an actual like sports car race that took place in the woods, kind of like where 17 Mile Drive and like where the golf course and
like
Pebble
around
Beach Resort
Carmel.
is. Yeah. So that race, then somebody got killed there, and they don't do the race anymore. But that kind of spawned the Concours, and that was kind of like the revival of the idea of having a Concours. But of course, by then it was like they were showing off the same cars, the same French and Italian cars that were made pre-war, and German cars, as very notably some German cars. They were showing off the same cars, so they're like, oh, we'll call it a Concours d'Elegance. And then it kind of stuck. And then like for the longest time, like up until the probably 2010s, really, it was almost all pre-war cars. It was almost all like the same coach-built pre-war stuff, Duesenbergs and Voissons and all that stuff. And then because of a guy I know, Ken Gross, who is awesome. He was like Playboy's automotive correspondent, like in the 80s and 90s. And he has kind of been like the guy behind modernizing Pebble Beach. So he's like brought in hot rods. He was brought in Ferraris. He's like kind of been a driver of like the unrestored stuff being there. So like Survivor class stuff. It's kind of made the show a lot more interesting. Ken Gross, have I told this on the podcast before?
I don't think so.
So Ken and I were in New York. Ken's like he's probably in his 70s or 80s. And we were in New York for an auto show thing. We were both drinking, and I was like, oh, let's go to another bar. And he's like, no, I got to go meet my son. And I was like, oh, look, I didn't realize your son lived in the city. And he's like, yeah, lives in, I think, West Village. And I was like, oh, cool. What does he do? And he's like, you know that band, the Spin Doctors? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, he's the singer from the Spin Doctors. It's like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
so
I know.
weird.
I know a bunch of Spin Doctors songs like word for word because my brother and I were huge Spin Doctors fans when we were in like first and second grade.
Very good.
But
So random.
yeah, it's like, no, I absolutely know who that is. But yeah, it's then from there, like the Concours has kind of like spun into other, the
So
race. There's
when you met him, sorry, what to interrupt. When
Yeah.
you met him, were you just like, dude, I loved your band when I was like 6?
Oh, I didn't meet him.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Ken went by himself. I went to another bar.
Damn.
But it, yeah, it was shocking. And then, anyway, so yeah, it spun up. Like so every automaker now has like, not every automaker, but most of the automakers have a big presence there. There's like, it's kind of like a lot of the auto show money is going to Monterey. There's a super exclusive show called The Quail, which is held at the Quail Resort. It's like another golf course, actually.
Many good episodes of the Auto Week podcast relating to attendance of the Quail and taking very appropriate and colleague-y jabs at the nature of the Quail.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Quail is an even kind of fancier, more exclusive. I think those tickets are, I want to say they're over $1,000, which, yeah, I mean, it's a car show, and it's a very swanky environment. That's kind of like the weekend. Like I said, I'll probably spend most of my time at the track. And then there's also like a selection of like resto mod cars that I'm supposed to drive, like a handful of like that, the Lancia 037 Redux thing, the hot rodded.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know how I feel about that car because I fucking love those Lancias. Like that's like one of my favorite like 80s, of the like the kind of that Group B era cars, and the kind of the new version. It feels a little bit just kind of by the numbers,
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't really know a ton about them. I like. I initially was like, someone proposed like, hey, you should talk to these guys. They've got a bunch of cars out there. They'll probably let you drive some of them. And I was like, yeah, I don't really like, that's really not why I'm there. And it's like super trafficy and like, but then it was like, well, one of them is the Glickenhaus 0034. One of them is this Lancia. One of them is that like hot rodded Porsche 914. And I was like, okay, like I could maybe clear some time in my schedule to go out and do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be fun. We've got some kind of important business type stuff to attend to out there as well. So it'll probably be less of a party time for me. And it's like my life is less of a party than it was in previous iterations of my Pebble Beach attendance.
A little lower stakes in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like my natural proclivity for that kind of stuff is kind of diminished. But some of the absolute worst nights of my life, carousing and drinking in Pebble Beach previously. It's really easy. Like you get out there and everything's free. Like people are just handing you champagne everywhere you go. It's like once you've paid for the whatever $1,000, $2,500 ticket to the thing, everyone's just there to make sure that you're drinking, and it's very hard to avoid finding yourself in a bad spot at 2 or 3 in the morning. But
if you're just there as a freeloading journalist,
it's just a hog. If you're just a hog at the trough, as I have been in previous.
Oh man!
I'm going with my former employer, Haggerty. So Haggerty, like when I used to go to Pebble Beach, it was like I would go and I was wrangling 12 kids and their parents all weekend, like in vans. Like because we did this national model building contest where like we'd send out 1,000+ little plastic models, and then the kids would photograph them, put them on a website, and we'd vote. People would vote nationally to like decide who won, and then the top 10 or 12 would come to Pebble Beach, and we would do this like judging thing, and it would be like me and Jay Leno and like You know, like it was it's a weird thing. I was like, this is when I was 23, 24. And so I would take these parents around and the kids around all weekend, take them to the auction, take them to the whatever, like go meet them at their hotel. And it was like, by the time Saturday night came around, I was ready for a drink. Like I was ready to let my hair down a little bit. And I very frequently did. Which there are some non-pod stories out of that
I'll bet.
really embarrassing.
No,
but yeah,
Rory, are they still doing the special Dawn Patrol hats? I remember back in the time of the pod, that was a big. So are you a shoo-in to get a Dawn Patrol hat, special Haggerty Dawn Patrol hat?
I don't do that anymore. I don't.
Come on, you can.
I can't wear a hat. I can't wear a hat.
You can sell it later for dollars, for money, and you can exchange
true.
money for goods and services.
That actually is more appealing now than it was last time at Pebble Beach. I do need the money.
Stick it in the closet. Let it
I just grab a whole sleeve of them.
If you're there with Haggerty, sneak an extra hat.
That's a good idea, actually.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, it'll be good. I think it is something I kind of like just on the calendar every year. You're like, oh, I'm going to be gone for a week, and it's always kind of like, it's just going to be fun to go to for the 30th time to this, and I think it's mostly fun. It's like obviously important for me to go now with the alloy stuff, and obviously be promoting Tired Pod to all the cards.
There you go,
folks that are there. You should come on, Jim Farley. You should come on Tired Pod to talk about the new EV.
You should
with Model T moment.
Yeah.
But the bigger news is we figured out what was wrong with the 911. Did I tell you that on the last one?
You mentioned you guys were figuring out what it wasn't. It was not what you thought it previously was, right?
Yeah. So for like, this has happened to be, I didn't drive the 911 for a year when I had it, kind of the first few years I had it. My girlfriend and I at the time drove down to Lansing and drove it back, and it died on the side of the road. And for some reason, I got it in my head that the engine was fucked. There was something engine-wise, and I needed an engine. This is like, I knew less about the world and cars at the time. And so I got it towed back to Traverse City and just sat in the garage. And that's when I bought that Beetle. I bought a 73 Beetle. I was like, oh, this will just be my daily driver. And I didn't touch the 911 for like a full year. And then somebody, I forgot who I was talking to, was like, it's probably just a bad ground. And I was like, bad ground? No way it's a bad ground. It like killed the car. And they're like, no, yeah, it's probably just the ground wire shook loose and killed the... Anyway, so I went out, tightened all the grounds. The car started right up, and I drove it again for another 4 years. And then, so this time, this car has been... I have a video of me in the garage in 2018 trying to start the car after having spent a year or two working on it. Moved it, obviously, up here. Moved it to a bunch of different houses. Had it sitting in the garage, built the Lada from scratch again. And then the whole time I thought there was some mysterious no spark issue. And then also like a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, Jimmy and Henry and I were out there kind of drunk, and we're like, let's make sure we ran some tests to make sure that it wasn't sparking. None of us remember the details of the test. None of us remember the results of the test, but we all were like, oh, it's a no spark thing. Anyway, we fired some ether into the intake the other night, and it fired right up. And I was like, God damn it. This is sparking fine. So over the course of the last week, I've taken the entire fuel system apart. Which has mostly just been me being soaked head to toe in gasoline every night when I come into the house. But we this weekend took all the lines out, blew them all out, took the fuel rails off, took the injectors out, Frank Fardell. We've talked about Frank on the podcast before, but Frank called me today because he had been texting with Jimmy yesterday. He does not think it's the injectors. He thinks it's a power thing. Like the injectors aren't getting enough juice. And he's like, oh man, these old German cars are finicky. Like if you give the injectors 12 volts, they won't fire. But if you give them 13, they'll fire. And I was like, that just doesn't add up to me. I think like there's no reason in my mind why it should be delivering or should be getting less voltage back there. You know what I mean? Like just from sitting. It's like if the wires are all connected and it's getting some voltage, why is there a voltage drop just from sitting? Granted, the battery is really bad, but my theory is that the injectors are clogged because I have run a bunch of 10-year-old gasoline through them, and so I'm going to just send them out to some guy who's going to supposedly rebuild them, and then hopefully we'll be back in business. But man, spilled a ton of gasoline this weekend. There's just really no way to avoid it, and it's like. Just like take a shower and get out. Like, oh, nope, still smell like gas. It's like somewhere there's gas soaked in my hair or whatever. But you're just swimming.
It's coming out of your pores, man.
Yeah, man, it's in there.
I drank some of it by accident, and not actually even really by accident. I was trying to suck fluid out of one of the injectors, which I knew was gas.
By accident, drink on purpose.
Yes. But yeah, I think we're getting close. We're getting into the old neighborhood.
Were you able to source a non-Israeli fuel filter?
No, that is the actual Porsche OEM part, and I did not. Cool. I took it out of the box yesterday, and I was like, "What?" Like, so they're. The Porsche fuel filter is like a can. It's like a big can. And I took it out of the box today and looked at it, and it says made in Israel on the back of it, which is like there's a Porsche fuel filter factory, or at least a factory that's building.
Maybe that was part of their
Bullshit fuel filters under
German restitution thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
they had to build a fuel filter factory in Israel,
and they had to help us with our rockets. Like, all right, you and you are gonna come help with the rockets. And it's like, all right, great. And they're like, what do you do? It's like fuel filters, and they're like, all right, Israel, get out of here. We got fuel filters in the United States already. We need.
Yeah, we don't need
you
those.
Can go do it. Yeah, we're kind of good on that. But yeah, hopefully we will be back in business, as they say. There's a guy in this town I've never heard of. Oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, this guy, Rob Hack, Deborah Hack, and Howard Hack, Motorman Fuel Injector Supply, Weidman Road, Weidman, Michigan. Says they'll recondition all of my, rebuild all of my injectors for $15. Like, how is that?
Each?
This is one of those. This
or
is
the
one
whole
of those
thing,
businesses.
the whole package
per injector. Okay, so still, these injectors are almost $200 a piece for the cheap ones.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy cheap. That's
yeah.
wild. Like you were talking, when you said that, I was just thinking like, oh Christ, that's got to be like $1,000. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Whatever.
This is one of those things where it's like you want to walk in there and be like, "What are you doing? Show me your books." Right. Like you're not doing this right. Yeah. Like you could have told me this service cost $600, and I'd have been like, "Yeah, that sounds right to me." Like that.
Yeah. Do they specialize in like Porsche or like German stuff, or is it they're just like across the board, just general purpose fuel injector cleaner guys? That's
yeah. And I was
bring us your dirty injectors.
I was pretty. So Frank called these guys a year ago and was like, asking them for like obscure Japanese part numbers. And and he was like, they had everything in stock, and he was like, this is so weird. And then I went to the guy's website, and it says, having trouble finding the injector you need? Please call Rob at blank, and I will check our inventory. We stock almost every electronic gasoline fuel injector ever made for any vehicle, any make and model. If we do not have it, I will help you find it. It's like, this is my kind of guy. Like, this is
That's
like
fucking crazy.
I am very interested in becoming a part of this guy's deal now. You know what I mean? It's like,
I feel like it's definitely worth a story, if nothing else.
Yeah.
I just love that, like, businesses like that still exist, you know? Like, like in a world where just everything is just so fucking
optimized
scammy and
Yeah.
so just like, you know, it's like, no, what do we do here? We do one thing. We do fucking fuel injectors. We have every fuel injector ever made. We will fix your fucked up ones, and it's dirt cheap. It costs nothing because we do so much of it that, like, and we're the fucking people who will help you out.
Yeah, we have not thought about whether or not this makes money in such a long time.
Fucking rules. Well, yeah, they live in fucking wide body Michigan. You know, it's like, I don't imagine. It's probably a fairly.
Buildings paid off. They already own all the
exactly.
equipment.
Yeah, I imagine their house is probably paid off as well. They probably have like a bunch of acres, and it's like, yeah, man, we're good. We're fine.
Yep. I'm really
like that rules, man.
Yeah, it does.
That's a lost
also
world.
Like, it's one of those things that, like, I see a website like this, and I'm like, ooh, I have to get involved with this person's life. Like, I have to, like, know these people. Like, I want just a picture of what's going on here. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And probably somewhat less excited. Man, the thing is like, once the 911's running, it's like a cascade of like $600 problems and $900 problems. I was like, I looked up, there's like parts on that car, like tail lights, that I was like, oh, these are $30 or $50 or whatever when I was first doing this 8 years ago, and they're now like obscene. So
can we back up briefly to just circling back to Monterey? Was that Lotus Etna auction that I sent you guys that link to? Isn't that a Haggerty auction?
Yeah. So they bought well, a bunch of the guys from RM Sotheby's went to start this company called Broad Arrow that is Haggerty's in-house auction company. That's theirs.
That's fucking rad, man. That car
is fucking cool. Yeah,
fucking believable.
I had no idea that existed.
Oh, see, I mean, I remember that car so vividly from when I mean, I think it's like 84, 85 ish when it kind of made the car show rounds. And this was a Lotus concept car, but it was a Giugiaro, Giorgetto Giugiaro, the King, Ital design. This car is just like, for me, it is just the fucking ultimate, like, just peak Giugiaro car. It's so beautiful and clean, and it just epitomized everything about kind of the 80s kind of Ital design vocabulary. And I feel like it's the kind of purest and most elegant expression of that that kind of vernacular. And it's such a fucking, you know, and it like, it didn't get built, you know. I mean, it was like, they showed this car and it's like, oh dude, that would be amazing if they built it, you know. And it was like, and it was kind of like, you know, like envisioned as like a V8 successor to the Esprit, which which Giugiaro, was a 70s Giugiaro design that, had been updated a few times. But this was total, clean sheet of paper car. And it was one of those, and I had, full fucking magazine spreads of that car, like taped to my walls.
Oh, wow.
Like, as like a 14 or 15-year-old, whatever. And like lots of people, it's a pretty tired trope, that it's like, oh, that's the car that was on my wall as a teenager, as a kid, whatever. But it's like, in this case, it's not just that, like, oh, it was it's, I had a Lamborghini Countach poster or whatever. This was like the car. Like, there's only one of these, and it's like that fucking car that was on my wall when I was like a fucking 15-year-old in Chino, is now up for auction, like this week at fucking Monterey. And they're, what are they expecting to get for it? Like maybe like 200,000 or something like that. It's not, the thing is, like looking at the photos of it now, it's rad because it's such a beautifully clean and kind of futuristic, for the time, shape. But what's amazing about it now is you see the kind of the patina of it, the weather, like all this kind of 80s plastic and like the interior especially. There's like the Lotus badge on the front of the car that's, kind of cracking and stuff. But like when you see the interior and how like everything is just like, this kind of like space age looking, very elegant, functional plastic, right? And it's just that completely beautiful and awesome to me Giugiaro, thing. But it's so like funny and great to see it, like, instead of being like super, clean and space age and modern, to see like
looks a little tired.
Yeah, it's like the cracking and the leather is just like a little bit is like cracking in places. And but the thing is, like, originally, supposedly, according to the history that they have accompanying, that car was just a roller when it was shown. But at some point they did fucking like put a full powertrain in it. And it's this kind of like pretty advanced, like one of two, like, V8s that they made for this, like a prototype. And so, like, they turned the car into a driver at some point, like I think like in the 90s, whoever owned it for a while actually turned it into a functional car, and not just a showpiece. And to me, just the combination, like the idea that you could fucking drive that, and like and the kind of the contrast between the kind of utopian future that it promised and the slightly kind of like not shoddy, but just like it's a real thing, it's a real car, and it's like, oh yeah, no, those plastics, they're gonna fucking degrade over time, and it's
I can smell this car looking at the pictures. The best detail on this car for me,
it's so evocative to me.
Is the on the trunk lid, or whatever, the engine cover lid, there's a little decal that says Etna, but instead of it being a decal, it's just straight vinyl tape, like a pinstriping tape.
It's just fucking tape.
Yeah,
it does
spell Etna. It looks totally legit. Yeah,
it totally does. And it's like, but it shows the extent to which, like, so much of that kind of like 70s and 80s Italian stuff that was so outre and so like outrageous and so kind of stunning and still is, you know, a lot of those cars, but like how just kind of like not fully finished those things. They were
I mean, it's a show car. Like that's very typical too.
They were concepts. They were ideas. They were just fucking like cranking these things out and just like just to have something to show on a stage. And it you know, there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors with it. And that was fine, you know, because it made the statement that it was supposed to make, you know. And it's like you can go and see, like, I mean, a lot of those kind of, you know, the 70s concepts, you know, especially, I mean, like, you know, there's that Peterson wedge
show
exhibition that's opening up that has like the Lancia Stratus Zero car, which is that crazy, incredibly low orange car that just looks like completely under, you know, like how could that even function as a car, because it's just so impossibly low, and it's like the windshield is essentially flat, like, you know, like horizontal. There's no like but like I, you know, I saw that car at when it was I think a few episodes ago I was talking about when we were recording in Nashville, and I got to go to the Lane museum, and I think it was that same trip. I also ducked out and went to the I forget the name of the museum. I know it. This art museum in Nashville that had like this big kind of art of the automobile, you know, traveling exhibition, and that car was there, and that's, you know, it's another one of one. But I mean, it's just, you see those things in real life, and it's just they're so breathtaking, and that car in particular is a really just interesting. There's a lot of like really ingenious details to it that I had never noticed in, you know, decades of, you know, seeing pictures of it. So if you have a chance to see that at the Peterson in Los Angeles, you should definitely check that out. But yeah, also if you're in Monterey, man, go and check out that Lotus Etna, and maybe think about buying it and
throwing a bid down,
giving it to me.
Yes.
Do we think the radio and cassette player still work in this? 1, 2? Is that just a block of wood under there?
Well,
certainly not.
The thing is, what is with that? I mean, it looks like there was a digital display there once.
Taped
kind
over?
of. Not even it just looks like they put a piece of cardboard with like some like, they just Sharpied like some baby blue and red graphics onto like a piece of cardstock and just like inserted it in there. It's like, yeah, that looks like something.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I mean, all it had to do is to look good in photos and look good from 10 feet away.
Yeah.
I need someone to get it who will replace the cassette player and calibrate it and get the radio working. And also, I'm obsessed with the block of wood that's under here, just sort of holding this part up. Hang on.
Well, no, that's a real Lotus part. They all have that.
Like, this photo, and like all the plastic and like paint is rubbing off on the stuff. Like, it's so good. It's beautiful. It looks like
it's actually been used. Like, that's what's so cool about it. It's like a real
someone's been driving
car.
This thing.
Yeah. Unbelievable, man. Just to show up in that. Holy fuck, man.
Sick.
It's pretty cool.
Fucking whips, dude.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go to this. When is it? Wednesday? Oh, I will be there. Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to send me pics.
It's $250 to $400 is the estimate.
Yeah. To me, it's priceless. There's a few kind of related stories having to do with our shared IMSA passion, but also kind of the larger economic headwinds that I think are interesting. The first one is and this is like by far the least surprising. Lamborghini to press pause on SC63 program in 2026. From Daily Sports Car. I don't think that this will come as a as a surprise, and it's too bad because I mean this is the Lamborghini what do you call it, hypercar slash LMDH car prototype that they've been running. They kind of pulled out of WEC this season and have been just running exclusively in the IMSA endurance cup races, and the car has looked good. I mean, it's actually, I mean, it's been like reasonably competitive, and it's also worth noting that, like, I mean, when that car did run at Le Mans last year before this past year, both of those cars finished. You know, and I mean, it was a you know, thoroughly respectable showing. You know, they weren't, they did not embarrass themselves at all. Like, and I think the car was just like a bit underdeveloped. I guess they kind of had there was a big crash like in their testing program that kind of set the whole program back, and it just seems like they never really fully committed to it. Yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of kind of like corporate doublespeak in the Lamborghini statement that about it. Initially conceived as a natural evolution of Lamborghini's successful customer racing platform, the Hypercar GTP project was launched with the ambition of further expanding the brand's presence in top-tier endurance racing. The program was designed to ensure a global visibility through the presence of a hybrid racing car in each of the two championships. Blah, blah, blah. However, the conditions on which the program was based have significantly changed. As the project developed, resource demands, both in terms of budget and technical complexity, have grown beyond original projections. I mean, really, the only thing that changed is WEC kind of mandated that everybody had to bring two cars instead of just one. Yeah, I don't. It feels. I mean, and it's weird because it's at a time when Lamborghini is kind of ramping up. They're introducing like the new, what's it called, the Temerario or something, like the Hurricane successor, the GT3 version of that car, which is going to come online. I think actually this year, like next season, like fully. But I think they're kind of like gonna kind of start putting it out there maybe this year before the end of the season. Which is like a huge, like, you know, that's a big and a pretty successful, you know, customer program. And for as successful as that's been, the whole the hypercar thing, it just seems really just kind of half-assed and
here's my two things on this.
Yeah.
One, I don't believe that Lamborghini should be raced. I know that's controversial, like within Lamborghini world, but I don't think that's part of their deal.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of weirdly cool that they were like the only car in that whole universe of cars, supercar, hypercar world, that didn't race. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think VW is having enough headaches where anything that is like potentially problematic is kind of like getting some real extra consideration. And I think like that's probably what's happening here, because it's like if you're VW and you've got Audi, you've got Porsche, you've got that whole, there's a lot of money going into racing, and like you have to start wondering like how many brands do we want competing against each other in the same series. You know what I mean? Like, it just, to me, it's like, that, and it's like, okay, they're also struggling. I don't know. It just, to me, it seems like, yeah, that's logical for them. even if it's a bummer, the car was cool. But yeah, it just, like I said, it kind of adds up. But R.I.P. It was fun.
Yeah, fun while it lasted. Cool car.
Yeah,
good looking car.
It's cool to see.
I think we talked last time about the Alpine. Alpine's IMSA plans delayed as expansion to U.S. market stalls. I think we did talk about that. I think I mistakenly called that a Stellantis thing, which it's not. Alpine is part of Renault, not Stellantis. But yeah, so that Alpine is not coming to the U.S. That is on ice. But we, as we previously established, but there's also Cupra, which is currently competing in the Michelin Pilot Challenge. Cupra, which is a spin-off kind of sporty brand of Volkswagen's Spanish Seat brand. Apparently there was a plan to bring it to the US, and that's the reason that we see that car in competing against the Hyundais and Audis in TCR. But yeah, I guess those plans are off the table as well. According to this story in Sports Car 365, IMSA will continue to honor the investments made by teams with the Cupra Leon VZ TCR by maintaining its eligibility in the Michelin Pilot Challenge, despite the Spanish brand's recent announcement that it will postpone its planned road car launch in the U.S. I think postpone might...
Yeah, there's another word for that. There's
it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Weird.
We're not going to like, I think Volkswagen is having a hard enough time. Just generally speaking, without introducing completely unknown brands from countries that have no history in the U.S. market to the U.S.
Also, unknown countries to most of the U.S.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. There's never been a Spanish car sold in the United States.
Yeah. Could most Americans point to Spain on a map? Would say very unlikely.
It's a good question. I wonder.
I don't like our odds. Increasingly, don't like our odds.
Yeah, I would say that
pointing at any place. I don't think that most Americans could point out the United States on a global map. To be honest,
it's getting worse.
I would bet we're less than 20%, and probably less than 10% with Spain with an unmarked map of Europe.
Yeah,
it'd be rough.
But
yeah, so
but now we don't have to find out. So don't worry about it. No big deal.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yep. You're off the hook.
I think the only thing helping us is that sometimes I know with my phone, my Google Maps will glitch out and zoom out really far, and then if I have to like tap back in, it does zoom you back in manually into the U.S. So some people may have zoomed out on their Google Maps and may have some idea vaguely of the U.S. From that. Outside, we got no shot. No way.
That's how the GeoGuessr guy learned how to do all that stuff.
I love watching people play GeoGuessr. That's crazy.
Do you ever watch Michael Hudson?
No.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's a very funny guy. But he does a lot of GeoGuessr stuff. He's very good at it. Seems fun.
Wait, are you talking about a different Michael Hudson?
I don't know. Michael Hudson, he was a nurse in Detroit. And Eminem Obama is his Twitter handle.
No, the Michael Hudson that I think of is the Economist guy.
It's different.
No, that would be funny. What's up, gamers?
I have a very hard time picturing him playing GeoGuessr stuff.
No, this is a totally different guy.
He's on a lot of podcasts where it'll be like him and Richard Wolff together.
Now that's a stream. Is get two Michael Hudsons together. One of them's playing GeoGuessr, and the other one's explaining something about tariffs.
Yeah, totally.
That sounds soothing. Sounds
I
like
mean,
someone could sleep,
his shit, like, he specializes. He's written a bunch of like books about, like, he's really into debt and also like the history of debt, and he's written a bunch of books about like he loves to talk a lot about how, like, in kind of ancient times that that like Jubilee, like this was like like debt forgiveness. This was a thing, and a thing that was pretty widely agreed upon across like lots of different societies. That was just kind of like good for everybody, like like even like during times like where like, I mean, this is long pre-capitalism. I mean, this is like feudal era, but it was just like, everybody just fucking gets zeroed out and you start over, and everybody's just chill, and
Better
nobody
for
can
everybody.
nobody can
right.
accumulate a shit ton of wealth, and we're all just kind of happier for it, other than the nobility or whatever. But anyway,
but in exchange, they don't.
That's
get
my
killed.
Michael Hudson. Yes, right, exactly, yeah.
So they do end up happier. That's fine.
So everybody wins.
They're getting something out of it too. They get to be alive.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've been listening to that David Graeber. He also wrote the book about debt, the 5,000 years. I've been listening to the other one about the different civilizations at night when I sleep, and so like I'll wake up at 4 a.m. and be like, "Ooh."
Is it the one that he wrote with the other David?
Yeah. It's
what's it fucking called?
let's see.
I've
It's
been
like,
that I have that book, and I like,
so
no
big.
joke. I mean, it's really
Dawn
big.
of Everything.
Dawn of Everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've read about a quarter of it, but the thing that I mostly use it for is when I'm upstairs in my office, working on the laptop, and I don't want the laptop to make my lap hot. That's the book that I put underneath my laptop. In my lap. It's really
Crucial.
good. It's a great book for, and it's great for that.
It's good stuff.
It's both.
Good insulator. Yeah.
It's both.
Lotus could use that instead of the block of wood.
There you go. You should pitch it, fellas, gamers, sharks. I have a proposition.
I need $15 for a paperback copy.
Sharks,
of
I
David
literally
Graeber's.
need $15.
Sharks, I want to go race my Lotta. Can I have $150, please?
Did you guys see that that Penske was in the news for non-racing stuff? The Penske truck rental thing had to respond to had to make an official statement regarding federal agents' use of a Penske branded like, looks like a that's a big truck. That's like, I don't know if that's like a 16-footer or like a.
So the ice guys used it.
Yeah,
So.
they not to throw people in, but rather they jumped out of it. Like they rolled up to a fucking Home Depot.
First of all, that's not safe. Those guys need to have seatbelts on.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's what Penske said. Penske was.
That's not what they're for.
Was forced to come out and say, "Look,
We
guys,
do not transport people in our vehicles.
Fucking don't go riding around in there."
Penske strictly prohibits the transportation of people in the cargo area of its vehicles under any circumstances. the company was not made aware of that its use would be used in today's operations and did not authorize this. Penske will reach out to the Department of Homeland Security and reinforce its policy to avoid improper use of its vehicles in the future.
Those, first of all, are not people. Those are ICE agents. But the other part of it.
Yeah. It's unsecured cargo. They're just shifting.
That's what you get, man. Roger cozied up, did all that nice stuff for Donald Trump, and then he just goes ahead and stabs him in the back, embarrassing him publicly like that. Not good. I gotta say. Yeah, he's starting to think this Trump guy is not he's not a good partner. He's not a good
not good for racing, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's just, yeah.
What about Will Power? I saw he won in Portland.
What's going on? He won right after a bunch of rumors started going crazy for a couple of days that they're gonna cut him and that they're not renewing him. Yeah.
Yeah. How old is he now?
40, mid-40s, mid to late.
That's pretty 40s. That's pretty old.
He's still doing well though. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I mean, for IndyCar driver.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He's 44.
He's 44. Yeah.
Yeah. And Penske does. I mean, when it's time to move on, they move on. It's like, it sucks because like the guys become big celebrities and they're like, you know, really associated with Penske, but like when it's time to go, it's time to go, and they'll boot you.
Yeah,
that's
but I mean, IndyCar is a bit of a younger person's game, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of
there are guys who hang on.
I mean, there's guys like you know, Helio Castroneves who comes back and does Indy every year, you know, even though he's like practically as old as me. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, the guys who are actually like competing in the series, like,
they're all in their 20s. But there are guys like actually two Penske guys, but Elio was with Penske late in his career, and Simon Pagenaud also with Penske late in his career. Simon had that really bad accident a couple of years ago and hasn't raced since. But he had been bounced from Penske by then. He was with Meyer Shank when he got in the crash. But yeah, he was with Penske until he wasn't. They, like I said, I think like they will move on when it's time to move on. I was shocked by him getting dumped from Penske, but he had a tough year in 18 and then won Indy in 19 because we were there.
This is Pagenaud now?
Yeah, and then then he was got bounced. But yeah, I guess that was later. It was like 2022 maybe. But anyway, yeah, they will bounce guys, and like Will Power's been there super long time. It feels like, but I would not be surprised. Although the question that I would immediately
I mean, more than 20 years, because I remember seeing him win like at Fontana, like when I was like with my dad and I don't know, I mean, circa like 2000.
Yeah, he's been
2004 or something like that.
No, he I'm looking right now, Wikipedia, but he started Penske in 2009. Replacing Helio Castroneves in the number 3. But yeah, he I would wonder who the next guy is if they're going to bounce Will.
I mean, I'm glad they're keeping Scott McLaughlin, even though he's been having kind of a tough season.
I mean, they've all had a shitty year. The Portland was their first win, right?
Yeah.
Was Penske.
And look who brought it home. He's like, yeah, all right. Yeah. See ya. Fine. I get it.
But yeah, I think I don't know who the up and comer is. Who the next
Could be one of us.
Could be one of the nice people you talked to, Rory. I mean, you saw what the
it's true.
What they're looking at.
True. Could be Maddie Riley. You're the only one who conceivably fit in
Maddie Riley.
Yeah. I've never driven over. I would say the top speed I have hit in any car is probably 95 miles an hour, and I do not think I want to. I don't know how I would feel about driving something, piloting anything faster than that. I'll ride along, but I don't think I want. I'm good. Fine, hanging.
You don't know until you try it. That's the thing. Like we said with our friend Erica the other day, she tried it and look, she was great at it. Did you guys see we put up our first car review today?
I did see that.
The Ally thing?
That McLaren thing? Is it Travis
Okulski? First review and first outside author today.
Wow.
Nice.
Drove the McLaren 765 LT. Really loved it. Which, cool. I was supposed to grab that car, my last week at Jalopnik, I had that reserved, and I was supposed to pick it up in New York City and go up to the Hudson Valley for the weekend and then, return it. And I had it all planned out, and then it was oop, I'm actually not going to be there. I planned it wrong so that it was to take place after I had already left. So I gave it to Andy Kalmowitz, but I was like, man, I really wish I would have done that. Because Travis really loved it. He said it was an incredible driver's car, and it was very easy to drive fast, and yada yada. And it's these are all things that are very, very appealing to me. I can tell a version of this story, but the last time I had a McLaren, I had a 720S, which is a phenomenal car. It was brown, metallic brown.
Yeah.
And the Run the Jewels guys were in town and played a show opening at Little Caesars Arena. Oh, this is actually a different car. So Andy got the 750S. Anyway, they played a show at Little Caesars Arena opening for Lord and Mitski, which was great show. And then Mike and I went out to Sweetwater Tavern for wings, which is kind of an old school Detroit wing place. And then went and ripped the 720S up the freeway on my usual fast driving route. And man, that incredible car on the very broken freeways in Detroit. I was describing it today. It felt like, that feeling when you skip a Frisbee off the pavement. That's what it felt like. It was being in that car was oh, I'm in the Frisbee. I'm steering the Frisbee. I'm responsible for this Frisbee not hitting a guardrail and killing
Holy shit.
Me and my rapper friend. But yeah,
I always wonder. I mean, also with in New York too. I never can fucking understand how do when people who are just. I mean, obviously, rich guys with fucking fancy cars, but also just people, working at New York-based publications, and they get a press car or something, and they have to fucking drive it around Manhattan, or even not even Manhattan, but just larger, the five boroughs. I mean, I don't want to take my fucking car there because it's just I mean, there have been so many times that I mean, I stopped bringing the fucking driving the Saab to New York. If I had to fucking go to New York, I would rent a car rather than bring the Saab there, because every time I fucking drove there, I felt like I was destroying the fucking car.
Yeah.
Because of the roads are so horrendous, and it's I don't get how do those cars, how does a McLaren deal with that?
Immediately leave town, and that was that was my plan for getting the car, was just immediately head up to the Hudson Valley. It's I mean, there's a couple places where I've taken.
So cars, you're basically just getting on the
expressway,
the west what's it called, the West End Highway or whatever, and just like going up, like, and just okay.
Yeah, disappear. There have been a couple cars, like I've been given cars for like an hour, and I've gone and ripped them in places where you should, like where I was 4 or 5 times the speed limit, but had good visibility and like a reasonably smooth road. But that is not ideal. Like that's not what you're supposed to do, I don't think. So yeah, I think you pretty much immediately get out of town. But I was really, really jealous. Travis loved the car, and he was like, said it was like one of the best realized performance cars he's ever driven. And he said it really like wants you to drive it. Instead of, he's like, a lot of the cars from other hypercar makers feel like you're an annoyance to the car. Like, oh, God damn it. Like, you know, like this fucking guy's doing all the wrong shit in here. We need somebody else. But he said it really like was super impressive, and he would buy one, and he would take it to the track, he said, which I don't know. But I was very excited about it. It was a good step in the direction of being like a real publication, publishing something that I didn't write.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's cool.
There'll be many more to come.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you ever need a press card down in New York, man, just give me a holler. I'll go down there and get it.
I will take you up on that. Actually, I'll make you drive some stuff.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Resolved.
So ordered.
Maddie,
yeah. I mean, people do. I mean,
no
like
volunteer.
I was just watching. You know, I like to watch Harry Metcalf's stuff, the Harry's Garage, and he bought. He had a Lotus, one of those new Lotuses, for a minute, and he ended up trading it just because the value of it was like, I mean, it was like depreciating like a fucking stone in like the year that he had it, and he was just like, I think I have to unload this before I lose any more money. And he filled that spot in his garage with a 650S, which is just kind of earlier version of that car, but like those, it's like, it's a model that has kind of depreciated to the point where, like, it's now, you know, it's like $100,000 car, you know, like, or that ballpark. So it's like, you know, I mean, obviously still expensive, but for what you're getting, like it's you can make the case that it's like, it's a good value. But he fucking loves it. And he just said, like, and the thing that he loves about it is just how usable it is. And I mean, he talks about it in kind of very similar terms, you know, and just, it's, you know, very, very, you know, it's a really great car to drive. It also is, you know, refreshingly, because it's, you know, several years old at this point. It's refreshingly free of a lot of the kind of burdensome shit that I mean, especially in England, you know, there's like in the UK now, there's all these, you know, like every car has to have, like, you know, speed limit alarms, and just like every time, like literally every time you get in the car, you have to go through this whole fucking thing of just turning off all this shit that you don't want to have to listen to. And some manufacturers make it really easy. Some make it like just ridiculously, just deal breakingly difficult. But you know, with, you know, obviously with a car that's a few years older, you don't have to worry about any of that shit at all. But yeah, I mean, just like the user, you know, just like I was just watching a thing where he just took it on a longer road trip, and he just said that it's like, look at how much shit I can fit in this trunk.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
enormous front trunk, and and it's him and his wife, and they've got like a really big, just kind of giant duffel bag full of all their stuff, and that goes in there, and then like a couple of smaller, just kind of like day bags, and then shoes, and your first aid kit and flares and all all that kind of
Yeah.
all the kind of road trip shit and he just says like, I would never be able to do this in like the Ferrari 296 that he just had in to test or whatever. That like any number of just kind of like current supercars that just have like no allowance for any kind of and it really, and like for him, and I would think like for most people who are buying those cars to use them, as opposed to just fucking showboat or whatever, like that's
a huge thing.
Yeah. It's like, what do oh, I guess I can't take this on a road trip. Well, fuck it.
Yeah. Like, or have someone follow me, or I can mail my shit in advance. Like people do that. They do pay people to follow them, or they mail their shit to a hotel in advance, or more likely they have someone mail their shit to a hotel for them in advance of this stuff, so they can drive their car.
How do I get a job
being the mail
being
guy?
like the chase car for some rich guy in his Ferrari 296, for example?
My guess would be you have to have been in Blackwater at some point. Or,
because I could do that.
A lot of those guys. Yeah. Join Blackwater or do the... Okay.
No. Just do the actual job.
I think you could actually probably join Blackwater.
If any of our McLaren driving, if you're driving a McLaren, I mean, I don't know about the current ones. I don't know how much luggage you can fit in a whatever that ugly new hypercar thing is. But let's say if you're driving a Ferrari 296, which I finally saw one on the road. Yeah. Recently. Been seeing the race cars for years, obviously, but still a rare sight in these parts. But man, what a fucking great looking car that is. I don't care how little luggage it holds. It's a good looking car.
I know.
I was so excited he said NA Miata at my local Acme. That was very cool. I
was
like,
yeah.
Woo!
Dude, it's funny, and it was rusting in all the same spots that mine was when I got rid of it, and like, it reminded me though, like it just seeing that, like that's the only car I've never been a car name guy. Some people like name their cars,
sure, and
I've never.
Same.
But the Miata, my old Miata, that was the one car that got a name, his name was Little Buddy.
Go in Little Buddy mode. Let's go.
That's great.
Because he was the little buddy. He was just your little buddy,
We love a little buddy.
Fuck, I need another Miata.
I know. I was just thinking about.
I saw that guy had the new tag on it. I was like, "That's smart. You get it."
Just got it.
What do you buy in 2025? NA Miata. That's the one. Pop-up headlights and all.
A rusty,
yeah,
disintegrating. I mean, I hope he didn't pay more than a few $1,000s for that, but
I probably did.
Pay more, you think?
In esta economia, who knows?
Yeah.
With crazy rust.
I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like nothing is.
It's getting
feels
bad
like
out
everything is $10,000.
It's
yeah.
True. He hasn't been in the news much lately, for which I think we can all be grateful. But I do think that it's worth mentioning that that as of 3 days ago, Elon Musk predicts Tesla will have autonomous ride hailing in probably half the population of the US by the end of the year.
Oh, I'm sure.
God.
And this is this is from Yahoo Finance. In a bold and potentially transformative statement during Tesla's Q2 2025 earnings call, Elon Musk revealed the company is actively gaining regulatory approvals for its long-promised autonomous ride-hailing service, with several states already preparing for launch. Tesla is now targeting coverage for nearly half of the U.S. population by the end of the year. So that's pretty exciting. It marks a significant milestone in Tesla's full self-driving ambitions. As we get the approvals and prove out safety, we'll be launching the autonomous ride-hailing across most of the country. While previous now I hear you. I'm not even. I'm looking at this screen. I'm not looking at, but I can hear you guys shaking your heads. And it says, while previous autonomous vehicle timelines from Tesla have often drawn skepticism due to repeated delays, this time around, the company appears to be proceeding with a measured approach.
Oh my God.
Musk emphasized safety and regulatory compliance as top priorities, even while projecting aggressive scaling. That's at least our goal. Subject to regulatory approvals, I think we'll technically be able to do it. Assuming we have regulatory approvals, it's probably addressing half the population of the U.S. by the end of the year. We are being very cautious. We do not want to take any chances, so we are going to go cautiously. But the service areas and the number of vehicles in operation will increase at hyper-exponential rates.
Fell for it again award.
It's just like...
But this time...
Like, damn, dude.
So this is something, this is called, there's a disclaimer on the bottom that says this was originally published on barchart.com. So it looks like they are syndicating
Yeah, Yahoo Finance
this
just aggregate a lot. Yeah.
from Barchart, which is that a real?
Let's look it up. What's
Barchart? Yeah, I
Barchart?
see that. Originally published on Barchart. Yeah.
Barchart News.
Caleb Naismith.
Barchart News. Oh, this is a... Wow, look at this. Okay, so this is like speculation, a stock speculating site. It seems
Yeah,
like
but it's like a news site, right?
I mean, every article they post literally just has all the companies mentioned with their stock tickers like on the front underneath. I think that's the purpose of their reporting, is about like what affects
Trying
stock
to
prices.
boost the companies. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you I got the little beep. Literally
Wow.
it just has stock tickers under all the headlines for all the companies.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I imagine this is some kind of pay-for-play scheme to pump Tesla stock through a site that looks like it is designed for stock pumping, and then Yahoo Finance picks it up like a bunch of fucking rubes.
I haven't. Have you guys noticed just a recent kind of uptick in just like bubble talk? Like, I mean, it's like, look, I mean, it's fucking, it's obvious that that we're, I mean, as Rory, you've pointed out, ad infinitum, the AI is just completely ridiculous, impossible to monetize or make profitable outside of defense contracting thing. But I feel like I'm seeing a lot more just kind of mainstream or semi-mainstream stuff where it's like guys going, I think we might be in be in a little bit of a bubble.
Love that. Love that for us.
And it's like, and then you look at it and it's like, oh yeah, no, the last time that the ratios of debt to earnings or whatever thing they're using was was this high, was in 1928,
Yeah.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, and the only other time it got anywhere close to that was like in 2000. Yeah, it's just funny to me, and there's a lot of talk about like treasuries and 10-year yields and stuff, and like stuff that like
Peanuts.
I don't know, like that's not my my
Yeah.
milieu. Like I like to like look at that stuff and just kind of like I don't fully understand how the mechanics of all of it, but it does seem like it feels like everybody's just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I need I
No.
need a Liz Franchak, Alex Skaggs episode about what's going on right now. New. The only time I ever understand anything about treasuries when Liz and Alex are talking about it.
I will say, I, listen to that stuff as much as anybody does. And I will say, like, there have been like dark portents in the economy for like the last decade where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, durable goods orders have never been this low before. Like
Right.
all
Yeah.
these like, and it's like kind of keeps hanging on in some respects. And I think like, I think like the big lesson of like maybe 2008, 2009 is that just keep the bubble inflated and don't let it take the economy down. It's like we've had a bunch of bubbles pop in the last few years, but it's like, it's like do whatever it takes to keep this ball in the air, because like if you let it, like we may never come back. Like the conditions, might not be there to recover. But it's yeah, I do. It is very
I mean,
concerning.
I think that the mechanism that keeps that in place is the fact that that the entire world is tied to our markets and to the U.S. economy specifically, and to our to the fucking NASDAQ and to the Dow Jones and I just wonder with the fucking with the shit that that Trump is doing, and with like really just like making it impossible for fucking anybody to do business with us, and forcing just like other countries to just I mean, like you can only sanction. I mean, this is like another thing that's been going on for years, and that I've kind of wondered, and just like it's like, how can you just keep sanctioning everybody? It's like when you're sanctioning like literally a third of the fucking world, in terms of like number of countries, in terms of number of people, it's way fucking more than that.
Yeah.
It's like those are the most populous countries in the world. It's like at some point they're just going to dip out, and I think like we're starting to see the beginnings of that happen, and
Well,
and
the good
it's
thing,
like
though,
and I just wonder, like, when the rest of the world is no longer invested in keeping our bubbles afloat,
Yeah.
that's I think when maybe the consequences happen.
well, I hear you saying that, but as we know, you can just get rid of the people who report on the bad numbers and replace them with people who give you good numbers, and problem solved. So it's like the
That's
I don't know
true.
if you saw it today. The new what was the jobs report guy is going to be like the head economist from the Heritage Foundation. So it's like, bada bing,
Don't worry about
problem
it.
solved.
Yes, exactly.
Get a bad jobs report. Guess what?
Well, I mean,
Just
it's
keep it
basically
going.
it's
Donnie,
it's the
all
same
fine.
it's the same play with that they did with COVID numbers. It was just like,
Yep.
yeah, well, we're just not going to count them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Problem
It's
solved.
like, yeah, exactly. It's like,
Someone tapping his brain in the meeting, like, what we could do? What if we just pretended this was over?
Mission
And I was like-
accomplished.
Sold.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be fine. Maybe there'll be a debt jubilee. Maybe I won't have to pay any of my mortgage and bills, and we'll just keep on rolling. That'd be great.
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All All right.
Jubilee,
baby.
That'd be great. That'd be sick. That'd be really cool.
All right. Well, Rory, have a great time in Monterey.
Yeah.
Yeah, come report back.
Watch out for the pedos.
Be safe.
Try and get some seat time in that Lotus Etna, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's my shit.
At least try to sit in it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Ask about the tape player. Hey, did you guys ever put a belt in here? You guys ever put a?
I feel like
are there cap stands in there?
Rory
I am actually very curious about that little the digital panel that is pretty clearly just like somebody took like a highlighter and just drew on a piece of paper and just stuck it in there.
Gotta know.
I'll take a look.
Drew some rectangles or something.
Wonderful.
I'll get some eyeballs on it. It'll be good when Haggerty invites me to Monterey for the first time in 20 years, and I immediately break one of their auction cars by fucking with the tape player.
Yeah. They won't
Why do
notice.
we stop bringing this guy up? Oh, yeah. Yep. That's right.
Awesome, man.
You'll have a good time.
Cool.
All right. Well, then.
Stay tired.
Tired.
See you, boys.
All right. Peace.